This pretty guy is Fred. Fred is a thorny devil, and the reason I want to talk about him is because of his skin. Fred is one of the few lizards who live in dry and arid areas and have developed the ability to collect water with their body surfaces. I read a study a few years ago about these lizards and their moisture harvesting abilities. The water they harvest can come from rain, damp soil, dew, fog, or humidity. The way they can do this is fascinating and involves the integument, or the skin and scales surface of the lizard. This image was taken from the study I read, which I will leave a link for in my blog. The structure of the skin allows for the spreading and then transportation of water through a teeny capillary system. The water is transported then to the mouth.
So let's talk a little bit more about how this is possible. The outer surface of the scales had a honeycomb-like micro-ornamentation structure. So micro-ornamentation, very small, and in between the scales was a capillary system. So this structure on the outer surface of the scales allowed for the surface to be super hydrophilic. So this is all about contact angles. My little diagram here. When compared to the other scales of other lizards, the contact angle of these special ones had less than 10 degrees on the surface. So this allowed for a thin film of water to be able to be formed on the surface and remain stable, hence it was hydrophilic. Whereas other lizards were looking at contact angle about 60 to 70 degrees on their surface, and to give you a rough idea, concrete's got a contact angle about 30 degrees. The study also found that the honeycomb-like structure allowed for 100% increase in condensation, 100%. This is possibly just because of the increased roughness of the surface, but they also thought it could have been due to that contact angle decrease. So the surface was increased wettability, more water, and this would encourage further moisture harvesting from that. What is even more incredible, I thought, about the study was that it found that this process was entirely passive. Therefore, no energy was required, and it could even work against gravity.
I also found another study that showed that with an increase in contact angle, there is a decrease in evaporation. So this is where I think this could possibly become important to the urban heat island effect. My suggestion is for us to use these impressive natural adaptations as a guide in future designs for our cities. What if we could somehow use these impressive surface structures for the surfaces of our buildings? They have already been able to, using software, recreate these surfaces in simpler forms with the same magical properties. What if we could increase the evaporative cooling and even the condensation on our surfaces of our cities? What if this was a way for us to reincorporate ourselves and our built environment back into the natural water cycle and cool our cities down?